Now, I want you to know that it is very important that we recognize that this is God's body, not man's. Okay? We are all the same in this body. The plan that God gave us, you can't argue with it. That's the only thing that the teachers need. That's the only thing the school system needs. There's nothing else that it needs except for funds, money, paid correctly, paid like the people they teach. You say, well, what is the plan? Well, the plan is simple to give, I know. You say, well, you got to give me a little bit more than that. Well, I'll give you just a little bit more than that. The plan is this. God has already put everything in place for this plan to work. God has already put everything in place for this plan to work. As a matter of fact, everybody in this plan has been practicing their parts. They already know what to do and are very well at it. Period. We take up the funds, okay? We take up the funds. Once we take up the funds, we give it to a bank. Banks will come running to want to handle the money that's going to be taken up because the body of Christ is massive. It is bigger than it has ever been and is more visible than it ever was. The body of Christ is massive. We take up the funds. First off, we take up the fund this way because God does not want to share his glory with anybody. And we know that he will not share his glory with anybody. We take up the funds because we are already together. We come together every Sunday morning on one accord, and we take up the funds according to the time zone. Each time zone, we take up the funds at the time that we take up the funds in each church. And we take up the funds and we give it to the banks. The banks then will find a brokerage